What's happening? It's DJ Acestar, international DJ, Tomboys Inc owner. We're about to spill the tea. Teaacup. Hey, let's get it.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so we got DJ Acestar in the building, and we're gonna play a game called Never Have I Ever. I've seen a lot of people playing it on YouTube. Okay. So we have two cards in our hand. One says have not. One says I have. So I'm gonna ask questions starting off with Never Have I Ever. We're gonna answer the questions and then we're gonna talk about it.
Let's do it.
Alright, so first question. Never have I ever had an STD.
Heck, nope. Have not.
No, let me get my card real fast. I was trying to get it in my hand. I was like, look, they looking like Teaacup, hesitating like,
Dang.
no, have not.
Have not. B card.
Never have I ever lost a fight. I have.
I have.
That means that I got these hands though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gotta lose one, gotta take one L.
Dang.
But what happened with me, I went to Georgia Southern's homecoming. I seen a couple friends, they were already in a brawl. So you know, you see your friends fighting, you know, you fight. So I jumped in, and next thing you know, like 3 people jumped on me. So yeah, it was just all bad. But you know, they didn't do that good of a job. I didn't have no bruises, no cuts. Walked away all clean. I didn't get arrested, so we all good.
Yeah, well mine ain't so clean as that.
What
Long
happened?
story short, man, in middle school, shouts to everybody go to Columbia East Side. Girl came, put her books on my desk. I decided to smack the books off my desk. And she decided to smack me. So I jumped up and no fight really happened. They broke us up before the fight happened. So I gotta take an L for that one. But yeah, you know, ain't nobody talking junk about me. I was still one of the flyest people in middle school, but
so never have I ever been played in a relationship.
Oh boy, I have.
I have.
Loyalty lost 2016. Ooh, rough.
Luckily, I haven't been played in my current relationship that I know of. Hopefully not. I was played in my first relationship. You know, the first time he played me, I was like, oh, you know, well, maybe he didn't mean to. Or, you know, trying to make excuses. Then it happened again, and it happened again, and again, and again, and again.
Dang.
But, yeah, I was young. We was dating in, like, high school. We dated for, like, 5 years. So I kind of didn't want to let that go. So, yeah. How did your situation go?
Hey man, I've been about 5 relationships. I'm gonna give 3 of y'all those L's that decided to play the kid. So good. No love lost, you know.
I bet they wish that was with you now,
I bet they do, you know. But
it probably be in your DMs, like, you remember me?
Sliding them DMs. Hey, big head. Yeah, I see you.
Okay.
DJ Acestar in the building.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted to interview DJ Acestar is because she's Dej Loaf's DJ. She's been DJing for a while. I've known her since high school. She is an entrepreneur. She has a successful clothing brand that is really making a statement. It's called Tomboys Inc. And she just does a lot of innovative things. And she's 25 years old and she bought her first house. Like that is dope. Like you're so lit. Okay, so starting off, well, first you can tell people where to find you on social media.
Alright, so my social media handles are pretty simple. They all the same. DJ ACESTAR. And if you ever want to know how I got the name, ask Usher, man. He didn't name me this. So DJ Acestar, that's the name.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Usher?
Yeah.
What? How did he
Usher
give you
Raymond
that name?
IV. I went to his camp when I was about 14, and my name was, I didn't have a camp name, and like they kept trying to figure it out. They used to call me questions. They didn't have nothing. And the first day of camp, they introduced me to Usher, and he was like, "What's your camp name?" And I was like, I don't know. I told him my real name, and he was like, "Your name gonna be Star." And I was like, "Star?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then so it kind of evolved over the years to DJ Acestar, but. Yeah, ask him. He'll tell you, you know, he named me back in the day.
So that really means he's seen something in you back then. Like, that's dope. And so you've always pretty much been into the art since you were like 14 and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think all the way back to like my young, like teens, even, you know, being 11 and 10, having companies, like all types of, like
Wow.
baking companies. I know.
So your parents just always invested in
Oh,
you.
yeah, definitely. It was always like, you know, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, or what do you want to do? And, you know, they both were entrepreneurs, so it was like kind of like, this is what you're going to do. Like, it's what you saw every day. I never heard my parents talking about, like, their boss or,
Yeah.
like, you know, oh, I got to go to work. Like, they were the boss. Like, I never heard about, like, oh, I'm slaving over this or that, like, clocking in or anything. Like, nah.
Wow.
That's all it was.
And that's really dope to be like from a black household,
Right,
you know, full
yeah,
of
definitely.
entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? They
Definitely.
send their children up, you know, for this type of, to get in this type of industry, you know, to be independent, self-sufficient.
definitely.
So that's what's up. How did you get into DJing? Since you've always been into having companies, been into the arts. Because since I've known you, you've always had like a dope swag, always had like custom tees.
Yeah, so my freshman year at MLK, I was in Mr. Corey Carter, DJ Sugar Bear's class.
Sugar Bear, hey.
Everybody know he's still a legend. He's still there. So I was in his class, and I was with a bunch of seniors. I was the only freshman, and I used to finish all my work very quick. Computer class, so you know, at this time and age, like computers was like popping off, and like I finished my work. So I said, I used to ask him like, can I leave? Can I do this? Can I help with this? And so one day he was just like, he's like, you like music? I used to go on YouTube and listen to all the music, look at the lyrics, you know, try to download everything. And then he was like, I'm gonna make you a DJ. And I was like, what? I was like, a girl DJ? And at that time, you know, it was rare to be a girl DJ.
It's really rare to be like a female anything in like hip hop.
And so he came and dropped off $1,000 worth of equipment at my house in Ellenwood on River Road. He put it in my garage, and he said, I want you to practice. And he made me teach myself. And the following month, I DJ'd every prom on the east side. So Salem middle school prom, I DJ'd Cedar Grove prom, high school, and MLK as a freshman. I DJ'd a prom.
I do remember you
lit.
At, like seeing all your flyers and stuff. Like social media wasn't like that popping back then.
Yeah, flyers.
But like every time I like seen you or known of you, was just always DJ Acestar doing this, doing that. So that's what's up. Like how did you land into DJing behind Dej Loaf?
All right, so the story is kind of crazy how it happened. I caught her wave pretty early in the game, and so 2 years ago I shot her manager that I saw like was working with her at the time. I shot her a text, and then I shot the guy manager that was working with her, which I had already previously worked.
You wasn't asleep.
Nah. So I shot him a message. I already worked for him when I was 18 and 19, DJing, and so I shot him a text. I said, you know, my little spiel, like, yo, I'm perfect for the job. You know, I'm brown skin, I'm 5'5". You know, I can rock out any show. I was like, and I'm a tomboy, and I got the tomboy swag, and I brand, and I love, you know, music.
So she was on the tomboy swag back then,
yeah,
too.
back then she was popping. You know, everybody knew her. She was everybody's WCW. Social media, she was like booming. And I said, yo, let me be your DJ. They was like, nah, we got another DJ. So I was like, dang. So flash back to this year. April, I got to hang out with her at her birthday party, which is the same month as mine. We both April babies. Move on a little bit further. July, I got a phone call, and I missed the call. And I didn't reply back. It was like a 30-minute span.
Did you know it was them?
I knew it was a call, but I didn't know it was that.
So why did you miss it? Were you doing something?
I was at work, 9 to 5 in it, and I missed the call, and that missed my opportunity. And then, just so happened, October, actually August, is when I got the next call, and that was it. And yeah, five shows later, I've been rocking out with her. So 2016 has definitely been great, rocking out, doing the Yellow World experience, being a part of the camp, you know, being a part of the team. Can't wait to see what, you know, look forward.
That's what's up.
It's pretty dope.
That's what's up. So, like, do you feel like y'all have a lot in common? You know, since you mentioned y'all are tomboys.
Yeah, I mean, tomboys is a lot we have in common. Being, you know, coming from families where you want to be great and you want to be a star. And other than that, like, you know, hey, we both love our cities. You know, I love Atlanta. She loves Detroit. And that's about it.
Detroit.
Yeah, that's about it. Like, you know, music kind of brings everybody together. It's like a communication that, you know, anybody can use. So yeah, it's dope.
Okay. Okay, so speaking of tomboys, and I mentioned that you had a brand.
Correct.
And you started that yourself. You designed everything yourself. I seen on Facebook a post like 10 years ago when you did your first shirt.
Yeah,
so
man.
like, how did you go? Because it was like a wave. Like I seen a lot of people at my school wearing the tomboy hats. She even has a Barbie Jeep. I have to drop a pic. Like it's a tomboy Barbie Jeep. It's so lit. And it was in like the car and bike show. What year?
2000. Let's see, 14. 14.
Yes.
Pink Jeep, baby.
She has a tomboy Jeep. So how did you jumpstart your brand yourself?
I mean, it kind of started like my senior year of high school, and I had already been DJing, so I already had a name for myself, and DJing kind of opened the door to expose, whatever else I wanted to do. And I had always been making shirts, custom shirts for everybody. And at this point in time, I was like, I want my own clothing line.
Right.
And at this time, clothing lines wasn't, big. I think Rocksmith
wasn't as hype.
Yeah,
like
Rocksmith was huge. You had Pink Dolphin was just kicking off. If you from the local Atlanta area, you knew about so many other brands that were about to progress. And so Tomboys, it was me. It was my image, and I drew it. I went to a graphic designer. We chopped it up. Came about. And then I just knew like I had to get everybody in my city wearing it. So when they went off to school, they was wearing it. And it blew up. 2013, 2012, I think I made thousands of dollars, which was crazy because I was in my 20s and I was making so much money. I had a website that was booming. I would get orders like every 2 days. I would be pushing out orders, and it was just like I was in college. I was still DJing, and it was just like booming. And so, that's kind of how it really came about my senior year of high school. And I did everything myself. So if it was packaging, if it was shipping, if it was designing, marketing, social media, everything was my website.
Do you still do everything yourself to this day?
To this day, everything at I'm kind of more hands off because I do so much other businesses, and I work a lot in those. So it sells itself right now. But it's definitely coming back, and it's gonna be huge.
That's how you have to get it, especially like when you do so many other things. You have to plant the seed, set it in stone to set it still.
Get it right.
So that's what's up, and it's a lot of just indie brands in Atlanta. They probably, I know it says it takes like about an average of 7 to 10 years for like brands to pop off. Yours probably popped off quicker because your movement is dope. So what are 3 steps or 3 keys you would give to an upcoming designer or an artist, an independent designer that's trying to kick off their brand?
All right, so 3, I'm gonna say keys. Gotta tell you the keys. Number 1 is definitely gonna be do it. Start now. Start today. My motto
Don't
is
play.
My motto is we all got the same 24 hours. It's all about what you do with yours. So you just gotta start today. If you think about it, you dream it, you can achieve it, and that's simply it. Like if you walk out the door and you're like, man, I like shoes, I like blue. Okay, I think I put something together. Just do it. Yeah,
just do it.
Like just do it and make it happen. Like don't waste any time. I spend a lot of time planning. When you might lose 2 weeks, 3 days, 6 months on all this planning when you could have just started then. You're gonna fail. You're gonna make a mistake, but you gotta start. And wasting that time when I think I can do it. And you second guessing yourself when if you would have started, you would have already began and already been through that process. So that's definitely number 1.
Overthinking and planning, definitely. Yes, that does kind of similar. So key number 2.
Yeah, number 1, make sure you start it right now. Do it right now. Number 2,
right now,
is going to be research.
Okay.
You have to.
Especially
research.
For legal reasons.
Yes. And I mean, and it's not so much, make sure I have this copywriter, this trademark.
Okay.
But research if you need a trademark. Research if you need a business license.
Okay.
Do you need an LLC? Do you need a corporation, all of that's important because sometimes people use unnecessary money. They have inventory and you don't need inventory versus pre-orders. So definitely do your research. Number 3 is definitely going to be find somebody else that's doing it. I use that to my advantage. Anybody that had a clothing line, I was following them. Anybody that was doing anything that I wanted to do, I would follow their moves.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, everybody puts their keys on the internet. They're telling you how to do it, how to make yourself successful. DJ Khaled just blew it up, you know.
You got a book about it.
Yeah, he blew it up, and now it's like every entrepreneur is going to tell you how they got there. You watch their failures, you've watched their successes, and it's all up to you to say like, okay, well they did this wrong, and I don't have to experience that because I just watched you fail. Like I can go ahead and skip that curve and move on to the next level. So
are you
that's my
suggesting
3.
a mentor?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And that it doesn't have to be, you know, John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. It could
Right,
be,
right.
you know, Mr. Carter up the hallway.
Right.
Like he was my mentor, and trust me, I've been places that Corey Carter has not been.
Right.
I went to London in 2016, and Mr. Carter at MLK, but he instilled in me how to DJ, how to
Right.
blend, how to get on the mic, how to rock a crowd, how to play records, old school and new school, and mix the old school samples with the new school for me to be able to go out and go to all these other countries and go DJ. So, yeah.
She gave the keys.
The keys.
So what I wanted to ask you is because I seen on Facebook that you said that you bought your first home. I don't know if you want me to tell you age or whatever, but she bought her first home. She is 25. 25. And you know, people dream of being successful at 25.
Right.
Okay, so what are the steps, if you don't mind letting us know, of buying your home? Or how do you feel you had the advantage of buying your first home?
Okay. Well, this is really crazy because it's going to go back to the 3 keys I just said. But
Okay.
I wrote it down. You know, everybody has goals and dreams, and I wrote this down about 4 or 5 years. I said I wanted to buy a house by 25.
Okay.
And I wrote it down, and I mean by 25, that would have made April 23rd, 2016. So
Yeah,
I did it.
Mirror, on your board.
It was everywhere.
Okay.
And like, if you knew me, you knew that that's what I was trying to do. So it didn't happen by, it happened at, you know, 25, and I still was able to make it happen this year. First thing was saving. Stopped buying so many sneakers, so many materialistic things, and I broke it down to saving. Zeros in a whole different bank account. In my savings account, it was not touched. So zeros in your bank account, save them. Extra zeros, commas.
Okay. So saving.
So that was one. So that kind of rolls on with resources, and the next will be my research.
Okay. Your
I
parents helped
spent
you with that?
years. Nah, I ain't even gonna say my parents because it was like so much research. I went out there and got I got $13,000 of down payment assistance, which is free money from the government that's out there.
What? And you research how to get that?
Research how to get it. I knew where.
And you know anybody's eligible to get that?
Anybody, first time home buyers. There's so many programs out there.
It's 13 bands out there.
It's more than that. You know, it was just what you qualify for. So I did the research for that. So I tell people research. There's so much money out there. Programs like Georgia Dream, Invest Atlanta. Even, you know, the city
Georgia
of Atlanta.
Dream, Invest Atlanta.
Yes, the city of Atlanta. They all
Okay.
give away money. And I tell people, like, you got to do your research. And it was years. It didn't happen overnight. I researched probably the past 3 years, even to the last day of my closing process. Signing checks, I was still doing research, making sure everything on my T's were crossed, my I's was dotted. And then the last thing is find somebody else that, you know, is doing what you're trying to do. Like, I knew I wanted to buy a house. I knew every realtor. I knew every broker. I knew everything that was happening with my house.
You was plugged in, too.
I was talking to everybody. If you ever bought a house, if you ever got free money to buy a house, trust me, I would pick your brain. I went to home buyer courses in Kennesaw. I went to home buyer courses in College Park.
Okay.
I did, I did my research and I saved up, and it happened. You know, 25, I purchased my first home. And a lot of people can't say that. I know people that are double my age that have never owned a home. And if you ever want to know what the experience is like, it's like holding a baby. Like, it's like your first child. If you got a kid or you know what that idea is, every day I wake up, open my eyes to the house that I own, you know. And it's a blessing.
Yo, and she lit here. We here at her crib right now. We sitting in a king chair. This chair is like huge. She got about 5 of them around the house.
We lit.
Hey, it's lit. So tell everybody what show you on. Tell everybody who you are. And let everybody know where they can find you.
All right, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your girl DJ Acestar, and we are here with Teaacup.
Yep.
And this is Spill the Tea. Hey, find me at DJ Acestar. Follow me.
Hey, and it's a wrap. Hey, spill the tea.